Let me make sure everything's working fine. I also want to boost the audio. Is it 8 decibels? Good. Is 8 good? Is it that clear 7? Hmm, I don't know. Louder is probably way better because it can be turned down more easily. Let's go with that. Okay. Just, let's take a look at this. Let me increase this in this one. Nothing's changing except how high up the news is. Down. Okay. I think that's everything. Alrighty, welcome back. It's another day. It's alright, one. Let me turn off my. Okay. So today I want to fix some problems from that I discovered over the break. Run the projects. Main scene is the fun. So first off, we have a problem where I can't do that to type in there. Where if I hit the test entity, it breaks. So that's the first thing. Um, Additional, why are there two Godot windows open? Oh, the game. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, let me close the OBS install as well. Alright, so let me open the notes. Over the break, I made a lot of notes. They're in the GitHub page as well for anyone who feels like taking a look. Additionally, I decided to make a reduced scope because the project has been getting bigger when it shouldn't be getting bigger. So I decided to reduce it to about 10 things that I'd like to do, along with changing the story and the character to something that's probably shorter and can fit on a single page rather than an entire script. Um, but for the most part, I want to finish like these 10 things. I also discovered that the controller support problem that I had was just not having the right version of Godot installed or method. I don't need another vault. Okay. So, starting with the line we got in here. Actually, let's start with this hardable player thing that I have made. Gravity enabled, gravity health, player animation tool is not on. So why aren't you falling? You got the gravity node, check it. Okay. Hmm. Something's happened. I need to figure out where this bug is coming from. What was the initial problem? File not found. So do you want to do a reorganization stuff? Hmm. So the test entity script just doesn't exist anymore. Okay. Um, test underscore entity, or not test entity, I guess. What do you want to call this? This is just something that can be hit able object. Sure. And then my naming scheme is, I think this. Okay. Last name. Start utility function. And then the gravity. How did I do my input manager? Because it's just a lot of things. Is it managed by the input manager for some weird reason? Yeah, it is for some dumb reason. Okay. I thought it would have gravity just immediately work without needing to do this. Or is it because it's not directly attached to the bottom and I have to reference it? But it should be that it references the host. So shouldn't it be the gravity script? Yeah, it's calling fall immediately. What the hell? Why did I activate this script? Not the current script. Why is it not falling then? If the host is not on fall, so either set it to 300 or make it fall. What is wrong with it? And I've already forgotten where the dang thing is. Uh, where is this? Testing. Okay. Open anyway. Can I just save this in a minute? Go to a scene, assign the stun manager. Start it. Okay, that seems to have fixed it. Collides with the player, which is good. It does what it's supposed to do, for the most part. I don't have a crouching attack, do I? It is facing right, I should remember that. What is light kick set to? You have the hitbox. Hitbox did overhead. Is the vertical player blocking? No, that's the test condition. Alrighty. this. Okay, so for the most part, it was just that there was a file read error because I deleted something. Alrighty. So let's make sure this hurtable player is, well, being done correctly. Mm, is this a hurt box or a collision box? 2D scene. I assume that's a crouching hurt box or something like that. And an aerial hurt box. Maybe. Actually, no, this one is definitely not a hurt box. It's just a collision box. I already copied the same box. Okay. So gravity works. I know health works fine. The stun manager, is that working as intended? Um, Actually, is that on my reduced scope things? No. But I do want the player to stop moving after pressing the attack button. So let's actually work on that then. Test player. Oh, wait. Gobble. Alright, okay. Test player. I have a lot of attacks. Okay, in the projectile, the frame data works how I wanted it to from the most recent version, where you put in a frame, and it's from frame this to this, and whatnot. I don't need 34 frames in this. The projectile is separate. Dash to entity, SolidWorks, animation resource, test curve, etc. Is this visible? Yeah, so that projectile is working as well. I had that as a test projectile as well. Okay, so again, I want to remind myself first, make the player stop moving when they attack. Okay, go to the input manager, which basically handles all movement as well, which might not make a ton of sense. This is also too big. I indents 4 times, so I'd like to change that. Okay, movement manager. There's dash handler and jump handler as well. So I think I should just change those to just not be able to be used. When attacking, I already lock myself out of an attack, but it might just be better to have. I think the entity having it makes sense, which they might already have. Is actionable is a property already. Who's attacking is not located here, so let's go player dot is actionable. if player is actionable, do all of this. Which by default is it set to true? In the entity base, these things carry. Okay, then input manager. Now, if they're not actionable, let's add a error, just in case. Else if else, we can have an emergency timer. Let's play attack manager so I can think about what goes in here. Add child node timer. I'll use my friend generated for them. To is actionable emergency. Just in case something happens. Uh, Actually, let's skip this for now. I don't think I need to do anything. Start and stop right now because I can just debug. Input manager. I really don't want to put more things in the input manager, man. But yeah, if they are actionable, okay, let's go to the player animation tool. Does this that function.animate tab host thing to animate? Maybe not. The fun manager might make more sense. Starting a stun with a tween makes sense. Start a stun. But this doesn't affect the attacks. Attacks are handled by the attack manager. Yes. Okay, and I believe I have an end stun. Is that? Um, what does the entity base actually take in? It takes in a stun manager. Maybe not. Because I have the property is stunned. if I just go to the player.is stun manager that is stunned. Did I also just do this? No, stun manager is not referenced by the input manager. Okay. And I have the wrong thing. That doesn't work here, I believe, unless I change that. Exclamation mark. Okay. Okay, attack normally, but I cannot move and attack. Meaning the attack manager isn't looking for. Why am I still able to move? By default, it's true. Is it changing anywhere? It's changing when I get hit, so let's actually test if I can attack while being hit. Oh, okay. So I can't attack while being stunned, which is what this is supposed to do. Or is attacking is already handled. Um, if not stunned, I just write equals plus. That seems more English. And then choose action doesn't have movement options, does it? No, does not. Okay. So these ones, if where the capital I come from, if attack manager dot is attacking, then none of these should happen. So if it's false, it works from dashing. If I attack with a lot more frame data, I like enable the visuals on that attack then. Which is the one with follow-ups, like most of the other stuff. So this should be heavy punch. I can't attack while moving. I can't change my direction while attacking. But I am sliding, which is not what I like to do. And I believe movement handler. There's a background. Update. If desired direction. No deceleration exists. Do I have input ducted axis? It's selected here. Is it used in input field? What's the property of saving input direction? Find 8 matches. Movement component, there's a jump, and the scale. That's why it's saved up there. Okay. Let me check with input direction for it. I'm missing a menu. Oh. Toggle file panels. Yes, that's what I wanted. Go to movement manager. Let's see. I'm going to put this into a vertical if statement and input direction is not 0 on it. This will slide. Oh no, I slide regardless. And there's no deceleration, which is even worse. And it would be open here, but we should be already not updating it. Oh wait, if this is the case, then maybe it would make sense to actually exclude the movement manager from here. Of all things. And no, okay. No. Let me change the input of this to forward heavy. Which would be in the input manager. Those are specials, those are down forwards, those are heavy punch. Change this to punch back. I don't have forward heavy. Did forward heavy work before? Forward light kick works. I don't know if forward heavy punch isn't. Is there something wrong with that? Wait, what? Mode. Oh. Holding forward breaks it, and I'm not sure why. I just think it's input manager. I feel like it could be in the attack manager more so. Input manager move list. Grounded right. Neutral, okay. Those are facing directions, air, tags. Neutral direction plus light kick. Neutral direction plus light kick. But there is no forward direction plus light kick, which... How did I miss that? Gosh darn it. Okay. Let me go to the heavy punch and add forward heavy punch. Heavy punch section. Heavy punch. Normal attacks. Then it's the quarter circles. Then we go to the specials. Controls. Then we just merge them. Which I have to define it as an attack and then go to their normal section as well. But I actually just want to define it as here. This, but forwards as well. Forwards, right is 6. So that would be, what is that? It would be capital R. I am capital L here. Save. Heavy punch normals. Let me verify that that works now. Yes, okay. So now I can test attacks while moving. Okay. Neutral is fine. Holding left for some reason is not. Holding right is fine. Okay. So I did something wrong? What could have happened to make this be considered wrong? Is facing right is a property I change manually on the player. Are you kidding me? Shouldn't be changed in the scale. Or in the input manager. Is it? It's either in the scale or the is the only scale nodes. Hmm. Scale. Flip direction equals new scale. If turning equals false when this is called initially, start turning. Set the timer, then if it's stopped, set the new scale. Set turning is false, then if node, what did I call this? Node is entity base type. Give me the hint, please. Node dot is facing right. Should equal the opposite. Oh, no, there's a. Wait a second. I already have something for that. Huh? What? Facing right, normal. Facing left. Did, did it change properly? Is this a keyboard glitch? It could be a quick keyboard glitch. Let me connect after it. My damn keyboard. Doesn't like me. Don't know if it has to restart Godot. Let me start this. Let me try the other controller. That I know works. Let's see what the problem is. Heavy punch. It's not coming out how I want it to. Someone jump and stun, which is good until we're out of stun filter. Okay. I think that's an easy fix if I want it to be grounded movement. So heavy punch works when right, but not when left, which is really annoying. Just one of those weird glitches where, why is it doing it with the controller then? Let me set fake left, then. Even fake left isn't working, really? Wait, what? That's insane. Huh. These print your position and then something regarding the calculum. Something I can imagine. Point balance. make sure the output is consistent. So this just tells me the numbers. This stops after the second hit. Can't spam it. Why is left attacking not working? Even with fake left. Or does it work until I start pressing left? Actually, let me print balance again. It might tell me what I need. Frame by frame mode. That's the combo attack indicator. 1-5. Okay. Let that play out. Wait, if you move around first. Frame by frame mode while holding left. Attack with left. For number 15, it's 15-5. 15 should be the attack button, I believe. Wait, no, that's just number 15 attack. I get that after just stops. Please stop. That's a neutral input, not a left input, and I don't know why it's not reading the left input properly. Input manager. Is it because fake is on? No, fake is off. Oh, man. Debugging. Is it because I defined a new attack? Should be a heavy punch? Is that on accident causing a problem? I'm guessing this is written wrong in the ordering. Let me check my, what is it? What are the four things? The keys? I think it's defined up here. Key format, ground facing right, motion. Ground facing right, ground facing right, ground facing right. Ground facing right with the back turnaround attack should be back heavy punch, if I ever use that. Right heavy punch should be fine. This should be false. Okay, that's fine now. But without it, for either of these, I have no forward attack, right? Yeah, there's no forward based attack without that. Okay, that's something to note. Top here. Move this. Fix me. Add forward attack list via AI. Because I'm not retyping this entire script out for each of the attacks. AI can simply add the line that's missing. I did not know this was missing that. Okay. If is attacking, do I need is actionable? Is if I just add the check for attack manager dot is attacking for the movement check, I should stop moving, right? Or did I already try that and it failed? Hmm. DRE return. If this happens, I still move. I still move. But I don't think I turn around as fast. Yeah, I turn around slower. That's improvement. Let's see if moving this here fix it. Finally does it. Nope. I'm sliding again. I don't like the idea of this. I throw on the floor and pressing down. And this, or the following. Attack manager dot is attacking. I don't stop moving. I can't start moving, but I slide. So that's an improvement. Um, so if I'm on the ground and attacking, if I'm on the floor not crouching, if the dash component is false, then movement component happens. Let's do this one first. No, that's still sliding. Can't start moving while attacking, but I can't move while. If the attack manager is attacking while I'm on the floor, player velocity should be 0 for the X component. But it's not setting to 0 because I'm not updating it when the attack manager is attacking. So if I change it to that, I stop moving when I attack. Okay. Perfect. There we go. That works. Is there an unnecessary line of code from that? Um, I probably didn't have to check it the other direction. Was there a reason why I checked it with on-floor crouching dashing? I don't know. Alrighty. So, did anything change? Players move lockout. Yes. Maybe. Let's try an aerial attack. I don't have an aerial attack, so set heavy punch to aerial. Especially because it has the follow-ups, which really make it nice to use. Heavy punch to air, heavy punch. as well as forward air heavy punch, just to help me. I can't jump. I can't dash. I can start a dash and an attack, which is the behavior I'm okay with. Okay, cool. Okay, that works as I want it, and I can, in fact, say that that works. Alright, um, it's time to make some combos. Possibly. Attack, attack, special, forced, dash, attack. Jab, jab, special. This is the test player. So, if I remove them from the main scene, uh, which is the testing scene, air controller. Okay. If I no, not detach scripts. Sorry. Where's that? Just on. Let me close the air controller's already on it. So yeah, okay. So I don't need to worry. I can just delete the player node and then put playable character 1, which has basically all the same stuff. However, it's time to build their attacks. Okay, cool. I think for devlog purposes, I should also prepare a little bit of scripting. I think it would be good to have just some kind of tutorial portion to use. So let's start with, first off, making a basic jab attack. Okay. I'm going to do this twice for the basic jab. So let me just, I have a notepad on my side. I can write a set of instructions. So making an attack, jab, basic jab. All right. Okay. So step one, pick attack manager. Cool. Testing. Should I have a scene that's just like preloaded with this? I should duplicate the scene as well. Duplicate or instantiate. No, I don't want to instantiate. I want to instantiate this specifically. Instantiate child scene. No, I want to instantiate a new scene. Instantiate. Where did I put the thing? Player info? Playable character 1. Instantiate. Okay. Attack manager. If I add an attack button, it won't affect the main one. Okay, so. Cool. Focus, zoom, zoom. Okay. Alright, I think that makes sense to me. instantiate, so I keep this base scene that's defined and pretty good for what I need it to do. Do I need to change anything? Player animation tool? Am I using such a thing? What is my Sun Manager doing? Is this a node that ever exists? Animation component, animation tool. Testing to animate, and testing animation tool. What is this? Why do I have this? I remember this now. Okay. Not now. That is its own problem. And probably isn't needed for the stun managers from the look of it. Scale, terminal frames, and it just references the timer. Input manager. Don't need to do the fake. This is fine. Calculator timer length is 6 frames. Normal attack, special moves. Okay. I have players, so I don't need to define a host. I gotta make this behavior because I know that now. So many things. Health, stun manager. I'm going to fake this reference. Actually, no, keep it because I don't know. Don't remove something until you understand that it can be removed, clearly. Okay. How to make an attack. Let's start with that. First, using a preloaded scene. Jab with preloaded scene. Okay, so first thing, click on the attack manager, add an attack button, ignore the clear buttons. Let's go. I'm going to use references on left attack. I'll say left button, jab. That would be X on the control Xbox. So I will put in brackets X, as I am using an Xbox controller for my reference. Why is my controller on? That is it connected via Bluetooth? No, it means my console is on. Oh well. Okay. Left jab, button jab. Okay. Then I can go to the input manager. So click attack button, add to, okay. Click attack manager scene, 2, click add attack, 3, add attack to the proper reference location attached to the input manager moves list. So you go to the input manager, you click on under the section where moves lists, you go to whatever the attack is. This will be, I need to redo the controller layout a little. I've called it these, but like, I don't know if these are the right names for it. I don't care. I believe that's Light Punch. And then save the scene for, I'm going to call this agent, or player agent, because I think I want to use an agent of some kind. I need to reorganize this entire thing. Probably a little bit better. Entities, organization, entities, systems. Okay, let's move, because this is like the actual player from the scene that I just put it in, which is in player info, to agent. Move in here. New folder. Player stuff. Put the agent in there. Attack data would go in there. Player control. Player stats. What is in this? A resource that currently is not really defined. Also, this list stuff is now useless, and it might be one of the older things that might be better to change out. Yeah, actually, a lot of things should be in a resource. Let me take note of that. Movement folder has things. Write down on a different page. Player stuff to be moved into a resource. Dash time, comma, speed slash position. And then that's just a timer to support that. Gravity? Gravity should be constant. I'll put it down as a thing that can be G, so everything just references it. Movement, pre-jump, frames, jump velocity, Y, move speed, split into walk slash run, pre-jump delay, coyote timer, which is handled by what? The pre-jump frames. Question mark? What handles the coyote timer? The input manager. Okay. Scale frames. And then the input manager has the coyote timer length. And then you can't reference a node to a resource, I believe, which means the move list itself and then like components for the player should not be there. But most of that stuff should reference the resource that should be attached to the entity. Player stuff, so this stuff should be in an entity resource. Okay. Clock. Having notes for the things that get you stuck is definitely important. Okay. Getting back to thinking and attack. I really need to stop getting distracted since this is something I want to do. Let's explain a little bit of the properties. So, do I explain the properties? For a basic jab, no. Making attack basic jab. Properties. Ignore most. Okay. Is the reset visible disabled button properly working? Not playable character one, not testing, not hurtable player, not input manager, attack manager test player. Is that button working properly? Reset visible disabled. Cannot call method get children on a null value. Alright, what? Here is this. There's a button for it, so it should reset all frame boxes. Up this. For attack, in attack manager dot get children. For frame in attacks dot get children. For shape in frame dot box. Shape disabled equals true. What? That doesn't even do what I expected it to. I'll ignore it because it's not part of what I need to do. Okay. Add an end frame button, add another end frame, add another end frame, so rename, oh wait, no, there's just a fixed names button for this, sorry. Fixed name buttons, let's change the startup to an even number. Street Fighter has 4 for the most basic jab, so I'll go with that. The active hitbox will go with 2 frames, and for the BP, actually, let's go with 4 frames for that. And for the end frame, I want the recovery to be 8 frames. Sure. Okay. Then I want to add a hitbox. So let me just say what I want. Um, Also, I should go into the 2D view for the most part, for the FPs past this point. So Jeb, or startup, 4 active, 8 recovery. Okay. I would like to test that. So in here, or no, in testing, add, no, I'd like to add a scene, which is player stuff, player test agent, add the scene, move him over here. It has a camera, so I don't need to worry about it. Entities, new folder, enemies. These two, the enemies, font folder. Okay, then Wait, is editable object a real script? No. Delete. Okay. Agent 2D view. Okay, we have added our 3 frames that we want. Okay. Then for pick the frame that you want to attach the attack hitbox to. Alright. So then we select the frame, we add a hitbox, and we have to choose the type of hitbox. We can also add a hurtbox. Hitbox 2 and or hurtbox. I should also have a node for like spawn projectile or spawn collision as well. Those are future things. Because if I need to spawn a projectile that stays on the ground like a landmine, that's something that would need a spawn, or if I want to spawn an entity or spawn really any object, I think a spawn node would be great. It might also replace the projectile node, because right now the projectile is just a thing that attaches to the player itself. Okay. Alright, and then you can fix names to identify which one it is. Okay, and then inside of them you can add their respective collision and hurt box so you can see what it is. Component reference. Why is that there? Isn't this auto-handled? I believe it's auto-handled. Why are they exports if they're auto-handled? Attack manager, go into here, Control F, health. Sets hurt boxes to link with health component. These should not be exports. Might be a issue from GitHub. Saved. Okay, those should not be exports. So they really should not see that. Okay, then we can add a attack data resource, and there is a ton of error information here. Also, I didn't fix the names here. So it renames it from frames 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 19. Huh. It is called repeat this frames, so is that a good name for it? Let me go to the script and see. Frame, projectile, property, range. Repeat this frame and find down. It's a value that's managed here. And I did say set a limit to 300 so that you can't put more than 300 on this thing. If you really need 300 on a single attack. Okay, so then if it's not handled here, it's handled by the attack manager. And the really? Really? Attack? Right. Attack manager. Attack 3 matches in the attack. Repeat this frame. if the property is called repeat this frames, that would be the frame plus the amount of times um, it runs. If it's called like active frames, which may be misleading to people who are using like attacks as active, if I say total frames for this section, if I say what else can I say? I don't like it being called repeat this frame if it's just a bad reference or a bad name for it. Especially because like the number doesn't match up with the number over here on the left. And if I were to run the scene, pushing the punch button, the correct punch button, it would go to the correct number on the left, but I want them to match up, so let's remove this count plus 1, right? Or does that break it? I turned on frame for mine. That's still 19. Did I save? Did I save? What was the plus 1 for? Or is this just an aim thing? Oh no, this is just an aim thing. Because if I remove this, run it, and then do fix names, yeah, it's wrong there. But if I fix for names now that it's been re-updated, it's 1 to 5, 6 to 10. It's the frame and a repeat. I don't like that it's a repeating. Also, why is it not referenced here at all? What the hell? Why is it current attack? It's fine. The current attack. Active frame is the reference. I see. So in the frames, there should be an active frame thing, or some other property that is referenced somewhere. Frames.size. If I do -1, save, run, I stop at 18, which is wrong. It's not the most intuitive, and I'm not sure how to make it more intuitive easily. So I will say this is a spot for this is 19 frame. 4 plus 4, wait, 4 plus 8 plus 14. 4 plus 4 plus 8 is 16. But if you add 3, it's 19. Hmm. I'm taking a look at how it looks in frame by frame mode. So right now the hitboxes and hurtboxes are placed in the wrong spot, but that's fine. 1, 2, 3. I didn't press the attack button. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start up. On 5, nothing happens. 6 is when it actually hits. All the way to 10. It stops. And then recovers. When is this repeated or used? I, I swear this property exists and works. I just don't know why it's not referenced here at all. Where the hell is it referenced? It's not in the hitbox, it's not in the hurt box, it's not in the frame, it's not in the attack, it's in the attack. But for naming purposes, right? Renames all frames so that each has a number count. Wait, there's a third reference in here somewhere. Okay. Append the same frame. For I in frames, frame minus 1. It appends the same frame. If I go to the rename and remove the +1 value in here, does it work how I would like it to? That's not the button to press. This 6 names, 17 frames. Press the button. It ends on 16. Let me see how it looks in frame by frame mode. Okay. 9. 1 to 5 is incorrect. It's 1 to 4. If I -1 here, and 6 names. 1 to 5, 4 to, no, it's not a minus here either. 6 names. It's not a minus, and it's misleading. Hmm. For the frame, the frame.name equals the number plus the count. Okay, I start at 1, plus this line 2, and then the same thing plus the frames that it repeats for. I'm going to keep it this way. I think that's the correct. Save, fix names, run it. Do I get an error? It runs properly. Sure. You know what? Fine. Alrighty. I guess that's just a problem I'll have to live with. Or someone else could fix it if I make it a thing. Okay, so we've added the hitbox and hurtbox. Now, in the editor, we can move the hitbox and the hurtbox so that it extends to however we like. I'm using the grid because I feel like it. And then we can go like this, match the values, or we can turn off the grid and work with a little bit more flexibility. Okay, and then you can change what you're working with in the editor. It just looks like you're working in the editor, and why not? Okay. So just basic jab, hit box will be smaller than the hurt box. I feel makes sense to me. Okay, but like with a bit more extension on the hurt box. Save. Clear that. I don't think it's a problem. Run. Additionally, you should be seeing a bunch of errors, which is fine. It's an inherent property of being an entity or behavior. Input manager extends move list, which doesn't. List is not defined for input manager, but the input manager extends move list, which does extend behavior base, but I don't think it needs to. Because what the hell is it even doing? Save. Need that in here. And that gets rid of this error that I really am not using the host value at all, as far as I know. 1 second, let me just. It doesn't even exist here. Okay, back to the attack. Okay, we've moved our hitboxes and hurt boxes. Add just boxes. That's step 5. You can also, if you want, add more. For example, if you need, but for this case we won't. Okay, great. Then is it done? No. Then you edit data. 6. Edit data for hurt boxes. Or no, the hit boxes. And so the type of data we have is what type of stun it is from these specific types. We've got basic, default knockdown, default launch, default air, animation slash grab, which are currently not all defined. So block stun, no, this is hit type, so basic attack. Um, Alright, default air. I believe default air is also used when the thing is in the air. Default launch is also a thing that exists. I can show. One moment. Okay. Um, I will have to go within the next minute or two. But I just want to make sure I have everything else basically defined. Um, so then you'd have like hit type of mid, low, high, overhead. Okay. Usually most attacks are mids in most fighting games, so that they can be blocked by both low and standing guard. Block stun duration is just a number, so just give it a number from like 0 to a trillion frames or whatever. I don't think I have a limit on this. Yeah, let me change that. Hitbox area, active data area. Export underscore range. Now back. Actually, not all of these are range. What am I doing? 0, comma 20. I don't think you need more than. I'll put 100. People can be excessive. I'll just have semi reasonable limits from, and also my error number from -1 to 300, -1 to 300. I think will be just the number I use for the most part. Okay. Damage is also a range thing. I'm going to set the limit to 1,000 because I do think that's going to be my numerical limit for it. Uh, you know what? -1,000. And then those two are just billions. 2,000. No, I'm just going to keep it at -1 because that's just. Well, okay. Anything else before I go? Like, to actually go because I have a reason for it. Need to pick someone up. The vector where you hit them in some direction. If they're familiar with Godot, they don't need to think too hard about this. This is also a single direction hit vector. Okay. Airstun overrides. So that is for default airstun damage. We'll put to 100. Oh, no, 500. Hit stop frames we'll put for 5. Hit back distance vector 100. No, sorry. Actually, no. 0 in the Y and 100 in the X, which is to the right for positive, and since this is positive, that should be fine. Hit stun duration should be, let's put it to, what's reasonable? If I'm having 18, 20, if I wanted this to connect, I would put 26 frames, and lock back distance, probably not 100 then, like 50 for this, and lock back distance, 30, closer on block than hit, run it, so now we have just basic attack. Oh, it's sliding. Ah, test player. No, player agent, playable character, testing. It's a hurtable player. Something about it is just incorrect. And stun remaining to wait. Did I even let it play out for long enough? Yes. Yes, I did. Meaning something broke. As well. Stun manager. This stunned continues stunned. Else and stun. Is that seriously just a line that was missing? Huh? It doesn't have health. Wait, why is it crashing from that line? Let me try. Did it somehow hit itself? Okay. What? Is there a self-exception problem? Where's the error again? Errors. Area.health.host doesn't exist. Is it hitting itself? No. Is that why it's set to those here? That's why, because these ones need to be manually set for it to work. Uh, Manager as well. Okay. Okay. Direction, block, index. Start stun with tween in base null. Stun manager, start stun with tween. This doesn't exist apparently. In the stun manager. But it does exist. Why is it not starting it? Hmm. In the block check? Does the area supposedly not exist? Even though it's clearly defined here? This thing really is telling me that it's so broken. Object ID, area. What? Why are you not saved? Stop. Is it being changed mid-attack or something? Okay, it's just having weird... It's not being set properly. Okay. Well, I'm gonna call it here. See ya tomorrow, maybe. I might actually make a video for that as well. Bye-bye.